On the Wild West Bass Trail.
We're going to be catching big bass at the Duel on the Delta, baby.
We're going to try to win this thing.
Cal Delta. Let's get it on.
The skilled pros of the Wild West Bass Trail take on the massive California Delta.
Big fish. Oh. Come on, Jeff.
It's the last stop on the road to the championship.
That is a giant. That is a giant.
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Last Cast with Craig Gottwals and Gary Dobyns. We are the Wild West Bass Trail. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Listen to Oakley. Listen to Big Break Marina and Oakley. Woo! Everybody here knows we go out to 7 billion people across the globe on the internet, but man, we've topped it now. 750 people in the crowd here today. Big Break Marina, Oakley, California, you've set the record. You guys are awesome. Whoa. That's fantastic. Yeah, well, that's right. They are here to see you. That's right. You're kind of a big deal, dude.
Yeah,
that's what we know.
Yeah, that's
like I said, I'm Craig. He's Gary. We're the Wild West Bass Trail. This is Last Cast, brought to you by Evan Rude. It's a little pregame show where we're going to talk about the big fish that you're about to see in just a half an hour. Our anglers are 27 minutes away from making their last cast, and it's going to be an exciting finish, Gary.
It's going to be an exciting finish. We've got some big fish swimming around in live wells out there, so it's going to be a good finish.
Yeah, we've had the opportunity to spend about 4 hours out on that delta, tracking down these anglers and looking at what they're doing. A little bit about Mr. Dobyns, if you haven't joined us before. Gary is the Western United States all-time leading money winner for professional bass fishing. He's fished at every single level of the sport. He's fished FLW, he's fished bass, he's fished the Bassmaster Classic, he's fished the NorCal 90s on Lake Oroville. I mean, you know, right? He's fished the Folsom Lake turkey shoots. When I say every level, I mean every level. We had anglers out here recognizing Gary on the water yesterday. People, we have no idea who they were. They were not fishing this tournament. And our producer leaned over to me and said, is Gary Dobyns like that big of a deal? And Gary turned and said, yeah, dude, I'm a real big deal.
That is not true.
Yeah,
they were Dobyns Rod's fans. That was the deal.
I'm kind of a big deal, dude. Nah, Gary always gets embarrassed and red when that happens. He didn't say that. I said that. Let's go through our Lucas Marine weather update, Gary. It's been crazy. It's been all over the map this weekend. What's going on today?
Well, we started with even bigger wind today and high skies, really bright, clear skies. The anglers had a rough ride this morning, and the wind is tapered off through the day a little bit. The guys fishing down south, it's calm down south. Those guys are fishing in really, really flat water, except for the ski boat traffic that they're getting down there, which is pretty substantial right now.
Down in Victoria Cut, we can be specific with where they are. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's been a change. We've had a little bit of a different weather change every day. Today and yesterday, very, very similar, just a little bit more wind today. We blasted off this morning into about a 30-mile-an-hour, gust to 30, and it tapered off. It's blowing out probably 15 now.
Yeah. Well, let's get right into our super clean standings, folks. It's day 3. You want to see what's going on. You want to see who's in the lead and who's doing what, and we're going to just start a little piece of that right now. I'm just going to do the top 3 of our top 10 for this segment because we're going to go through all the anglers a little later. Coming into the day on the professional side with a substantial 10-pound lead is an angler who calls Oakley, California home at least half of the time. We know he's also got a home in Texas. He's a Delta legend. He's known for throwing that frog out on the Delta, and that was Bobby Barrick with 53.55 on day 1. Got some Bobby Barrick fans out there kind of half clapping. All right, no, we got it. I was going to say, they were like almost half Barrick fans, and now they're full Barrick fans. Okay. Second place, another one of your local anglers here, Oakley area, he actually took second place in our tournament here last year. He's out of Benicia, California. He had 43.97, and that's Nick Nero. Got some Nero fans in the house. Yep. Nice to see. And coming in third place into the day, a guy who comes out of Glendale, Arizona. He's not a local
He's not
angler.
a local.
And that is with 38.87. That was Tai Au.
Hey.
Whoa! His fan base travels well. Like to see that.
He's
like
been catching him well everywhere he goes.
He's been absolutely outstanding on our trail. If to make the top 3 on the co-angler side, your chances were best if your last name was Diotti.
Yeah,
right?
No doubt
We
about
got in third place, Troy Diotti with 25.67 out of Salinas.
Yep.
Nobody loves him. All right, let's hear it. Okay, good. In second place, the only person not named Diotti in our top 10, Brandon Smith out of Indio. And in first place, another Diotti and another, let's call it a 9-pound lead for this guy, Gilroy, California, Ryan Diotti.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to dig right into the bite and how our anglers are out there doing today. And we're going to hear a little bit about Oakley, California from your mayor, Sue Higgins, in just one moment.
You know, I've never really had an office job. Ooh, morning, Skate. Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-sail foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with ever-new D-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
Back to Last Cast presented by Evinrude. We are the Wild West Bass Trail. I'm Craig Gottwals, and as you can see, Gary Dobyns has gotten a lot better looking, right? No, this is not Gary Dobyns. This is the mayor, your mayor. We're here at beautiful Big Breaker Marina. This is Oakley, California, and this is your mayor, Sue Higgins. Mayor Higgins. A little taste test, a little preview of the Wild West Bass Trail for 2018. We were having some meetings this weekend, and we were talking about tournaments we have to have, where we're going to go, lakes we're considering, and you'll be happy to know that Shasta and the Delta are just about musts. I mean, we realized we got to go to Oakley, we got to go to the Delta, we got to go to Big Break Marina. They treat us so well. It's beautiful, it's sunny, you've got moderate temperatures. This is a really nice place you have here, Mayor.
Yep. Safe, it's family friendly, and this is your Delta access to the ocean, right? So we want to be here, and we're happy to have you here. And we've been out here several times with Delta Dan's Outdoor. He's had lots of tournaments here. Each and every time we get more and more boats and bigger payouts. And Oakley is affordable. It has great schools. This year, again, we were named the Playful City of USA with 32 parks. It's a place to be.
Well, you mentioned something about the safety of Oakley, and you had a statistic on that, didn't you hit me with?
Yeah, we were rated 47th out of 100 in the Northern California area, so we're very happy to say Oakley is a place to raise your family.
That's pretty cool. You know, we travel around. Our crew, we've got people from Oklahoma and from Indiana and Texas and Colorado. So we weren't so familiar with the Bay Area necessarily, but what we know about the Bay Area is it's prohibitively expensive. Is Oakley in that category?
You know, Oakley is still one of the last affordable places. So come on out if you're looking for that, you know, you'll find it here.
Well, that's that. Who doesn't like affordability in their living, right? And access to the water and access to giant bass. We have giant bass out there, Mayor Higgins. We're gonna start talking about those fish and those anglers and how they're doing. Is there anything else you want to leave us with respect to Oakley?
No, I just want people to know that this is the place to be, and it's really family friendly and wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you having us out here, Mayor Higgins. We'll be right back with more Last Cast in just a moment.
You know, I've never really had an office job. Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin.
Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Is there a place where the underwater images are the clearest you've ever seen? We're seeing every fish, we're seeing every detail of structure, and where every bottom contour was visible, where whatever you wanted to see below the surface was real. Do you want to go? Structure Scan 3D is the future of fishing. We can show you how to find fish faster and catch fish in a way you've never experienced. Let's get them.
Welcome back to Last Cast, presented by Evinrude. I'm once again joined by Mr. Gary Dobyns. Did you miss me? Did you miss me while you were gone, Gary?
No, not a bit, buddy.
Not at all?
Bit, no.
Oh, I'm kind of offended by that, man. Well, then let's just talk about our anglers. What do you think? You want to hear about the anglers?
Hey.
All right. Well, let's start with our pro anglers, folks. We were out on the water for a good 4 hours today, and we got a lot of information, a lot of video, a lot of updates, a lot on the conditions. Let's just start right there on the pro side. Coming into today in 10th place was 3176 out of Modesto, California, and that's Hunter Schlander.
You know, Hunter's he's doing well. He's catching some fish. He's fishing in a central delta. He's moving around a lot, throwing same thing a lot of our anglers are throwing. He's throwing a lot of topwater chatterbaits, pitching some Senkos around, making a lot of stops and trying to catch that big fish to make a big move. And he's catching fish.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt, right? If you're out here on Championship Sunday, you'd like to be catching fish. Yeah. In 9th place coming into the day, he comes all the way up from San Juan Capistrano, and that was with 32.99 Miles Howe.
You know, Miles, again, he's another guy in our Central Delta. He's had some really good bites in this tournament. He struggled to get a couple of them in the boat, but he actually has done well today. He very possibly could weigh our heaviest bag today. He's catching them. He's catching them pretty good, actually.
A little taste test preview for you folks. Miles Howe's catching his fish, and our last update was at 1 p.m. and he had a very, very solid bag at that time.
Yeah, maybe a little better than solid.
Yeah. I don't want to overstate it. Yeah, I'm being very mild here.
Yeah, I know that. I'd call that more than solid.
Yeah, I would too. Coming in 8th place is a young angler that we've never seen in our top. Oh, wait a minute. No, we see him all the time in our top 10. He is he's an outstanding angler, and I think he's an even finer young man. He won on Lake Mead in our Tournament of Champions last year. He's coming in today with 33.86 out of Castro Valley, California, and that's Bryant Smith, Gary.
You know, Bryant is has kind of fallen him a little bit this morning. He stayed in his starting area, his confidence area for a long time this morning, so I knew he was catching them just for the amount of time. And then he started running. He ran north. Now he's kind of slid down into Central. It doesn't. That's Bryant though. Bryant. I mean, I always root for Bryant. He's such a nice young man, but he fishes exactly how I like to fish. Run and gun, make 50, 60 stops a day, cover water, fish for those aggressive biters, and that's what Bryant's doing. And he's catching them. He's caught them all day. He's got a really, really solid bag of fish. He still lacks that big kicker to make the move up. But then again, our last update was a couple of hours ago. He is fishing for the right fish, and he's covering a lot of water. Got to root for Bryant.
You got to root for Bryant, and if you know Gary, and I know a lot of you do. Gary is legendary, not only in his fishing, but in his mannerisms and his characters and the way he speaks. And I think one of the first times we watched Bryant Smith fish was in this tournament last year on the Delta, and we pulled up on Bryant, and he was fishing away, and Gary leaned over to me and says, "Boy, I like the way he fishes, man. He big old young buck, stout brother like that, 6 feet plus tall. I really like the way he slings that frog around out there."
His mechanics are flawless. That's the thing about Bryant. He casts left hand or right hand, which I wish I could. Big stout boy.
Exactly.
Big stout boy.
That's
he's got
words.
Great mechanics. I mean, he's a target shooter. He puts it pinpoint accuracy. He's just a phenomenal angler. And I remember telling Richard, I said, man, I was really impressed with Bryant Smith. That guy can fish. And he goes, Dad, the guy's a stud. He can catch them. The only trouble I had with Bryant is getting him in a jersey. And I told him, I grabbed him in a headlock down at Lake Mead, and I said, Bryant, the next time you're not in a jersey, it's going to be a bad day because me and you're going to roll around in the dirt, buddy.
and you know what? We got to do it because it's been a little while since we told another one of our favorite Bryant Smith stories. When we went down for our championship on Lake Mead in the desert, Bryant was actually the first person I saw when I walked into the partner pairing meeting Thursday night before the tournament began. And Bryant looked at me with wide eyes, and he said, dude, tell me they're cutting to the top 10 on Sunday, right? Tell me they're cutting. Tell me this is just a 2-day tournament, right? And I said, no, I think Gary's got you, all of you fishing all 3 days. And Bryant looked at me, and he said, dude, I can't catch a fish. I've caught like 2 fish in 3 days, and I have no idea how to catch them. And he was honest. I mean, he was not telling me a story. He had no clue how to catch those fish on Lake Mead. Now, Lake Mead's bite was incredibly tough. He was not the only one in that boat. Well, what happened at Lake Mead?
He run away with all the marbles at the end of the day. He actually was our Lucas Oil, champion, and he did a great job. I mean, like I say, phenomenal angler.
Yeah. Coming in 7th place into the day out of Hollister, California with 34.52 was Billy Hume.
Billy's covering a lot of water.
We got the Billy Club in the house. The Billy Club. It's a great name for y'all. You ought to get shirts made. We are the Billy Club.
Billy is, he's still, up to 2 hours ago, he still lacked that, one of those big bites he needs to make a move. Catching fish, or limit early, doing well. He just needs a big bite. He hasn't come across it so far.
Coming into the day in 6th place out of Vacaville, California with 36.70 is an angler that we actually got to watch on the water and video for a bit. And those of you who are watching the Wild West Bass live pregame show, Last Cast, will be watching that video. It might even be on the screen over here to my left if I'm right. And that is Dylan Waldrop.
Dylan, he's fishing good. He had a little mishap this morning, let a great big one get away from him, which wasn't a good deal. He's throwing a chatterbait a lot, and he's throwing he's actually punching a lot too. He's got 3 techniques. He's punching, he's throwing a chatterbait, and he's throwing a topwater swimming rat. And all 3 of those great techniques. He lost a good fish on a chatterbait, and that's the nature with the chatterbait. You're just going to lose some fish on that bait. The way the blade folds back when a big fish eats it, it's easy for that fish to come off, and it's something we all struggle with. But hey, he's fishing good. We left him early now. We left him like 4 hours ago. He was still hunting for his last fish. I'm completely positive he caught it. He's fishing really good. He's not rattled. Another very awesome angler, cast extremely well. Yeah.
Coming into the day in 5th place out of Concord, California with 36.80 is Philip Dutra.
Philip, I've known Philip for many years. He actually worked in a tackle shop helping me hawk rods about 10 years ago. He's a phenomenal angler. He's turned into be one of the Delta studs down here, and he catches them, and he fishes as his team partner, Mike Andrews. They make quite a team together. And Philip's catching them. He's got a little better than solid bag. He's still hunting that big fish, that big bite. He's really married an area way out west, and he's staying there. He's been there for the last about 3 hours. And he knows the big bite he needs is there. He just hadn't quite got it yet. Of course, he could have now because I haven't checked on him in about an hour and a half. But awesome angler, great young man.
Yeah, and in 4th place, another angler we had the opportunity to go out and watch on the water today. He comes to us from San Ramon, California. He's Bass Angler Magazine's very own Mark Lesang.
We did. We got to watch Mark for a while today. Mark's primary bait is he's punching. He's flipping, an 1.5 ounce weight down through the heavy grass. That's how he likes to fish. That's what he's doing. He did catch a topwater fish today, but it's pretty. Mark's catching a fair number of fish. That's the thing, and he's doing the right thing to catch a big fish. He just hasn't been lucky enough to get that bite. He's got again very very solid limit of fish. And he's staying on that punch rig, and he could catch a big one literally on any single cast.
Yeah, Mark is the proprietor of Bass Angler Magazine. As you see, he goes, those watching at home and those watching here in the crowd are watching Mark as he was punching some hyacinth, and we watched him in the day. And it was funny because just before we started filming him there in the video that you were watching, he had just caught 3 fish, but we weren't lucky enough to get one of those 3 fish on film. He'd used up that bank when we pulled up. Coming into the day in 3rd place out of Glendale, Arizona, an angler we've already spoken about, and that's Ty Au.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, Ty was our day 1 leader, 25 plus pounds. He's been in the right area. He's got these fish figured out. He's pretty much doing 3 baits. He's also throwing a topwater rat. He's throwing a chatterbait a lot, and he's pitching a Cinco around. And there's big fish there. He's had some bad luck in this event. He lost a big fish on day 1. He lost a giant fish on day 2. He's around them. He got a big one today. He got a big one early. He's got a really good solid bag of fish. He's getting hurt a little bit with the ski boat traffic today. He's fishing down south in Victoria Canal, and it's calm down there. And so those ski boats really started hitting it down there about 11:30. Wakeboard boats, and they're really making it rough on them. And it's when it gets like that, it really affects the fishing, especially when you're in low water, and he is dealing with low water conditions down there. But no wind. It's beautiful. It's so different from out west where we're getting a lot of wind. Down there it's just glass calm.
Yeah, Ty did a great job out on the water today, and we can go ahead and tell you that Ty might have one of the bigger, if not the 2nd biggest bag of the day so far with the information we have as of a couple hours ago.
Yeah, he's got a big one.
Yeah.
He's got a big one.
Well, Gary says it with less words than I do. Coming into the day in 2nd place out of Benicia, California. Again, he took 2nd place here last year, and that's Nick Nero.
Nick is throwing a chatterbait, doing a lot of flipping, and he moved around a lot this morning. He ran into the Central Delta, actually ran into the back end of Rock Slough, and he spent hours back there. And he did that because there's just giant fish living in there, and it's so grassy and so much of weed mats and stuff. The only thing you can really do in there is throw like topwater frogs and punch, and that's what he was doing. He left there with a good limit, and he's been upgrading steadily since then. And right now he's sitting way out west, and again, he's upgrading steadily. He's got one of our better bags today. I will say that for you. He's got better bags, and he had a couple he wanted to get rid of, and he got rid of them really quick about an hour and a half ago. Boom, boom, got rid of both of them. So he's sitting with a solid bag of fish.
Yes, he is. And last but not least, obviously, we get to our leader out of Oakley, California, and Maud, Texas, with 53-55 coming into the day, and that's Bobby Barrick.
Bobby, he really started kind of strange this morning. He was running a lot of rip-rap, and I can tell you what Bobby was doing. He's putting a limit in the boat. Bobby's not going to let someone come back. He's not going to struggle and weigh, a little bitty limit or weigh, 3 or 4 fish today. He went and grabbed a limit early, solid, just, solid keeper fish. And he started off with about a 10-pound bag this morning. But with his 10 and then the free 10-pounder he had swimming in his live well that got to carry over from yesterday, because Bobby started with a 10-pound lead. So that's just a 10-pounder in the live well. That's what we call it. So we had a little 10-pound limit. That's 20. That means somebody's got to catch them. And then Bobby starts upgrading. He starts fishing for his better bites. He's throwing, primarily he's throwing a chatterbait. He's throwing a lot of Cincos, a lot of chatterbaits. He's throwing some topwater. He's throwing some spinnerbait. Bobby's doing just like, a great Delta fisherman does. He's got an arsenal of rods laying there, and in each situation he's a different bait, and he's picking that up and he's going for it. But we watched him throw a chatterbait for a long time today. We watched him throw a lot of Cincos too. Cinco was a big bait for him. He's fishing good. He's steadily upgrading. He hasn't caught what he really wants today, and Craig earlier said, well, what does Bobby want? I said, well, he wants 40 pounds. That's what he wants. I mean, fishermen are greedy.
Who doesn't?
If you got 15, you want 18. You got 18,
right.
You want 25. You got 25, you want 35. I mean, you never quit. I mean, that's what makes a good tournament angler. You're greedy. You want, if you got whatever you got, you want more. And that's where Bobby's at. He is struggling. He has not got that bite he needs yet today. But again, he's got a couple hours. Bobby did not like that traffic in Victoria Canal with those wakeboard boats, and The first one come through, and he goes, dude, you know what that means? And I'm like, yeah. That second one comes through, and he goes, dude, yeah, I'm out of here. And he picked up and bailed. He is not going to deal with that boat traffic.
Right. Guys, our anglers are within 4 minutes of making their last cast. You're here watching Last Cast presented by Evan Root, and we'll be back in just a moment.
You know, I've never really had an office job. Ooh, morning, Skate. Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Is there a place where the underwater images are the clearest you've ever seen? We're seeing every fish, we're seeing every detail of structure, and where every bottom contour was visible, where whatever you wanted to see below the surface was real. Do you want to go? Structure Scan 3D is the future of fishing. We can show you how to find fish faster and catch fish in a way you've never experienced. Let's get them.
Welcome back to Last Cast presented by Evan Root, folks. We are 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes away from these anglers coming up and us getting the weigh-in going. We're going to bring Dr. Commissioner James Bryant up on the stage to do that weigh-in with the co-anglers first, and then we'll do the pro anglers. Gary, let's talk about, because Yamamoto Baits teaches us that what you fish matters, let's talk about a couple of the baits that really played big here on the Delta this weekend.
Well, a couple of them is the forever bait, you know, the half-ounce spinner bait, nickel gold blades, white and chartreuse. Because of all the gold shiners in here, running a shock boat with Department of Fish and Game, when I seen the amount of golden shiners in here, I'll never throw a spinner bait that doesn't have gold blades again.
That's interesting, Gary. That's actually one I've not heard you say before.
There's an unbelievable amount of golden
Would
shiners.
you go
in
2
the
gold
Delta.
blades?
You can do 2 gold blades, nickel gold at least, or a pair of gold blades. White and chartreuse, hard to beat any time. And the chatterbait. This bait is accounted for a lot of fish in this event. Yesterday I talked about the Cinco. That's the other bait that's accounted for so many fish. But a 3/8 or half-ounce chatterbait, I mean, many guys. I mean, all of our guys in the top 10 are throwing it.
Or a bladed jig, right? Would be the
Bladed
generic
jig,
name for it. Yeah.
Bladed jig or a chatterbait, either one.
And then what do you always put a trailer on a bladed jig, or can you run it without a trailer, or what do you like to do there?
You know, you can put it. I always run a trailer, and we all run a trailer. Yamamoto's got a nice little swimming critter bait out there now that works really well, and I've just totally spaced it because I can't think of the name.
Oh, or a swimming Senko would be a good choice.
Swimming Senko is a bait that a lot of guys do.
Big super grub.
But they just come out with a slotted swim bait type bait that it's just exceptional, and you know, I'm just having one of my senior moments and I can't think of the name of it. You know, and a Zoom Fluke. A Zoom Fluke works awesome on the back of it as well. But great bait. It loses a few fish. That's the only bad thing.
Okay. How about the spinner bait, Gary? Would we put a trailer on that, or do you always fish that one without a trailer?
Always fish without a trailer. I don't normally throw a trailer on it, and this is the bait that, you know, Bobby caught a big fish on a spinnerbait yesterday, and we talked about it, and, you know, during the weigh-in yesterday, it's when I fished, me and Bobby fished together for many years, and this is the bait that won us more money, with the exception of maybe a frog, than all the other baits put together. We were, as I said yesterday, we were spinnerbait chuckers, and it's just a phenomenal bait.
Well, that brings us, Gary, to the last segment of Last Cast. It's getting close. You'll say goodbye to us, folks. We'll be gone. We'll be back here next year. Well, this is our power poll predictions, Gary. We got to make predictions. Now, I'm throwing a twist into the game this week because Bobby's got such a huge lead, so we're not allowed to pick Bobby. Neither one of us. Bobby is implied. So in theory, what we're doing is we're getting 2 picks. We're both picking Bobby, all right? But we have to make another pick out of our top 10 here. And I'm going to let you go ahead and go first, sir. See how kind I am to you? I'm kind to the elderly, folks. That's what it is. Age before
I'd like
beauty.
to give you a slug right now. And, dude, I'm going to drop down and grab our 5th place angler. You know, he hasn't got the bag he wants to weigh in, but he's married an area that's loaded with big fish, you know, way out west. It's, you know, Philip Dutra. He's fishing an area that I absolutely love, and it's got a lot of big fish there. The tide gets right. He could easily cull his whole live well and come in with a gigantic bag. Has he done it? No, he hasn't, but I haven't talked to him in an hour and a half. He hasn't moved. He's staying there. He's married it. He knows the fish he needs to live there.
All right, that's a good pick. I got to tell you, I'm kind of jealous of your pick, but not entirely jealous because I like my pick even better. I'm going to go with the guy who took second place here last year. He had a little bit of ground to make up here today, but boy, I talked to him. That's Nick Nero. Nick Nero, the Nick Nero fan club was here earlier. I think they left. Sorry, Nick, they left. Nick Nero. Nick took second here last year. He lives in Benicia. He knows the Delta well, particularly the central to west Delta. He loves fishing out there. We watched him on the tracker today. We know he's got at least a solid bag, if not a pretty good one. And we know he's fishing out by himself away from all of the rest of the field. And I like that. On the last day, go for it. Get away from everybody. Fish for your own fish. He knows this place as well as anybody in our top 10. So my pick is going to be Nick Nero.
It's a good pick. There's no doubt that we're Nick's fishing. I believe quality fish, 3.5 to 4 pounds, probably as good as anywhere in the Delta. I don't think there's a lot of 7, 8, 9 pound fish that live there. I just don't believe that there is. It's too far west. It's just not known for kicking out those giants. So I think Nick's going to come in with a really, really, really good bag, but I think he's going to lack that giant. I mean, he's going to come in with probably all 3.5, 4 pound fish. Wouldn't surprise me a bit, but I'd just be really surprised if he comes in with, one of them 7 or 8 pounder, just because they just don't seem to live there, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah. Now, that was our last normal segment, folks, but I'm going to sneak in just a little bit more because they're not giving us the hook yet. So we're going to talk a little bit about our co-anglers. We're going to give our co-anglers the love, Gary. Let's give them some love. Let's start off at number 1, Ryan Diotti. How's he doing out there?
He's catching them.
Whoa, the Diotti Club is in the house.
Ryan's catching them. When I pulled up on Ryan today, all I got was them.
So he wasn't excited or nothing.
So I'm going to tell you, Ryan's catching them, and the only tip I gave him was, you better, buddy, because your old man caught a big one today, and he's hot right on your heels.
Ryan's dad was in 3rd place, and Ryan's dad has a big fish coming to the scales, folks. So, whoa, imagine that. They like both the father and the son. That's good to know. Healthy family right there. So the Diottis, they're out catching them. Who would expect differently, right? They catch them out here all the time. How about our 2nd place angler, Gary, Mr. Brandon Smith?
Brandon's catching him. He struggled a little bit today. We haven't talked to him now in a little while. He's still trying to grab his last fish that he needs, last couple fish that he needs, actually. He just, hey, that's fishing. He just hasn't made the stop he needs and catches to catch that limit, but he's up there. He's going to do extremely well in a tournament just to what he's done and what he's got in the well the last time we talked to him.
I want to give him a little bit of Wild West Bass love to one, Dustin Knopfsinger. Dustin comes all the way down from Yoncalla, Oregon, and he has not missed an event with the Wild West Bass Trail this year. You only got to fish 3, and he's fished all 5, folks.
Yeah. Awesome.
We love that. There was only 4 co-anglers that have done that so far this year, and he's one of them, and he's here on Championship Sunday. And I want to talk a little bit, too, Gary. I want to have you talk about somebody out of Yuba City, California, one of the nicest kids I've ever met. I say he's a kid. He's probably 33.
I don't think he's quite that old.
Just a super nice kid, tough as nails. The guy burned himself up at Shasta. He had black skin from his hip to his knee, and he didn't quit fishing at all. I'm not kidding. Darren Avalos.
Yeah, just to quickly on that story, Darren was trying to kick his tobacco habit, so he had one of these smokeless little cigarette deals, and he was covered up in rain gear. It was cold. He had it in his pocket, and it decides to explode and catch on fire. And he can't get out of all those clothes. He's got rain gear. He's covered up, and he's on fire. And it finally, him flopping around on the deck, trying to get it out, burning his hands, burnt clear through, halfway through his leg, honestly. Then it finally burned through the pants, through the rain gear, onto the boat,
through the
Ranger boat carpet, and almost completely through the Ranger boat lid before they got that thing out. And burned him really, really bad to the point he had to have skin grafts. But
he kept fishing.
Continued to fish.
He kept fishing.
Not only that day, he fished the next day. And we took a picture. It was unbelievable. This guy has severe burns. But that's Darren. He loves to fish, great competitor. He fishes with his brother, you know, James. He actually fishes with my son Richard a lot. And this is a guy that always catches a big fish sometime during the day. Great young man. Got to watch him grow up, so I've got a special place in my heart for him. And he's catching them today too. He's got a solid limit. He still hasn't got the big fish, but he's still out there swinging for them. And you know, just a lifelong. You know, I've got to watch him grow up, so it's a special place in my heart for him.
Well, that's excellent, my friend. We've done it. We've successfully completed the second regular season of the Wild West Bass Trail.
Successful?
Well, we're still breathing. We're still alive. We're almost done, and we're still here. So it's a good thing. Thank you, Oakley, California, and Big Break Marina so much. You guys have been fantastic. To have 750 of you here today on our final day, amazing. Amazing.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
This has been Last Cast, brought to you by Evinrude. We'll be right back with our weigh-in in just a moment.
You know, I've never really had an office job. Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin.
Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-sail foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with Evinrude E-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
Bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job. Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin.
Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-sail foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with Evinrude E-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
Bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
And we are back right here at the Wild West Bass Trail Championship Sunday, right here at Big Break Marina. And we're about to find out who our championship pros and championship co-anglers are going to be. Folks, are you guys ready? I think they are. But before we do, we'd like to have a special thanks for Big Break Marina right here in the beautiful city of Oakland. We'd also like to thank our national sponsors. Oakley. I said Oakland, didn't I? Oakley. Oakley. I'm sorry, Mayor Higgins. Oakley, California. I even have it written down wrong. Oakley. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. We'd like to thank Lucas Oil, General Tire, Ranger Boats, Evinrude Outboards, Super Clean, Protect the Harvest, Power Pole, Costa Sunglasses, Yamamoto Custom Baits, A&M Graphics, Gator Guards, Dobyns Rods, P-Line, Lowrance, and Ben Green Insurance. Right now we get ready to start. We're going to start with our co-anglers today. We want to bring up our day one leader. He had 35.52. Let's give a big round of applause for Ryan Diotti. Now, Ryan, I know we got a lot to talk about, but right now the main goal is 35.52 today. How was your day out there, real quick?
It was good. You know, I had a goal to catch 10 pounds, and I think I caught a little more than that, so we'll see what happens.
All right, well, you know the program. We're going to put you over here in the hot seat, and we're going to start weighing fish. So good luck to you, Ryan. We're going to talk to you soon. Thank you. All right, guys, I know you said it once before. Are you ready? Mr. Dobyns, are you ready? I'm ready. Gary says he's ready too. So let's bring him up. He was in 10th place. He had 21.84. He's from Lincoln, California. Everybody, 21.84 yesterday, Roy Desmangles. And we're going to find out today what Roy's got. We're going to do the fishing show-off here. Instead of just weighing, we're going to have Roy show us what he caught today. Let's bring him out, Roy. Let's see number one here. There's one. He's reaching in. There's number two. They're getting a little bit bigger. Reach out for big number three there. There we go, three. Reaching in, here's a number four. And we're there. Four fish, Roy. 21.84 yesterday. It's going to take 13.68 to take the lead. Take it. Yeah, I can take him. Here we go, Roy. 13.68 to move into the lead. Just a hair short, 8.72, but congratulations on a great top 10 finish. How was it out there on the Delta today?
Oh, the Delta's always lovely. It's my favorite place to go fishing ever since I was a kid. My first boat was a float tube. It wasn't even really a float tube, it was just an inner tube. I put some strings on there and came out here after school. Now, after college, it was my favorite thing to do. But now I got a Ranger boat. Got Keith Tripp here if you want to buy one. He'll sell you one. I tell you what, it's the best boat on the water. I want to thank all my pros. I was out there today with Vince Hurtado, who stuck around to take us backseaters out there to have a good time today. And, you know, what a gentleman. He's a great fisherman on all bodies of water that he's fished. He's fished all around the country, and I really appreciate him. I had a couple other pros that helped me get here today. Brian, a new friend of mine, and Garrett. If any of you are thinking about fishing, whether it's from the front or the back, you know, get online and join us out here. I've had 3 days of guided fishing. You can't beat that with a stick. You know, you just pay for the cost of admission. You can come out here and learn the water like nobody else. Then I get a chance to fish against, you know, my own league. You know, they're not just AAAs. They're professional anglers. These guys are good. They're about ready to come behind me. But the guys on the big show, guys, they're some of the best anglers in the world. So you'll see a great show here.
Very good, Roy. Great words. And I just want to tell you right now, going into this last tournament, you were 15th in points overall. And doing a little math, I think you're going to take a great big jump, and potentially, depending on how everything finishes, you could be at the top when this is all said and done.
Well, that's, one of the prized games is at the end of the year to win the Angler of the Year title. That's something I've always shot for. I've been doing this a long time. I always like to win. That's not going to happen today, but now it's the Angler of the Year title, and that's what we all look for. Amongst the anglers, all the guys, they give you a great big hug and a high five, and it means something to us. So I'm going to work hard on that. We're going to go down to Lake Mead and have a good time in SoCal.
There you go. Well, high fives for you, Roy. Roy Desmangles, thank you so much. Top 10 finish, congratulations. 2-day total, 30.56. Thank you, Roy. All right, so we got past the first one.
Yeah.
You starting to feel pretty good now?
No.
No. What does go through your mind sitting in the hot seat right now?
I was scared sick all night. Like, man, if someone can go whack 25 pounds, if I don't catch him, it's over, So, luckily I did my part, and we'll see what happens.
We're going to find out right now. All right, folks, you ready for the next one? He was in 9th place yesterday. He's from Fresno, California. He had 22.11. John Albatrez. Look out, folks. He's got 2 bags today. You know what that means, right? You got a big one, right?
I do. I do
All
have
right.
a big one.
Well, let's reach in there and find out what we got today. John's going to need 13.41 to move into the lead to try to surpass Ryan Diotti's 35.52. And there's number 1. Number 2. Nice Delta fish, nice and healthy and lively. Number 3. Folks, you think he's got 5? I think you've got 5. There's number 4, so we know we're going to the second bag now. Let's see if we've got one in here. It's a pretty good sized fish. I believe it is. Look at this, folks. That's a Delta largemouth right there. All right, John. Is that 5th fish going to do it for you?
I don't know. It'll be close, but we're going to find out right now.
Check it out. I think it is. 13.82. That's going to put you right in first place right now. 35.93. You moved Mr. Diotti out of the top seat. Congratulations. How was that day out there?
Oh, it was great. I had a great guide today. Well, not a guide, but a boat driver,
operator. Now, I got to ask real quick, when you hooked that giant fish, what could have went through your mind at that time?
That he was awake. He was sleeping most of the day, and every time he'd sleep, I'd catch some fish, and then I'd wake him up, so move him off the live well so I can put my fish in there. And the last one, the big one I had, he was asleep again, and I hooked the big one, and I said, "Oh my God!" And he woke up, and I told him, "You gotta get off the live well."
We better check that big fish, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should.
Let's do that. Let's see how much this big fish weighs, folks. All right, one more time. Nice fish. You know it. Look at this. 744. Excellent fish. You get the opportunity now to take the position in the hot seat. Congratulations on a great start. Let's see if it sticks out, okay? Our new leader, folks. John Albatrez, 35.93. We're time to move on into the 8th finished boat. He had 22.96. He's from Oroville, California. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Derek Benefield. They're good. Let's see what we got in here today for you, or for us. No, you cannot. Look, he's got the secret one. Now he's showing off that number 1, but Derek only needs 12.97 to move into the lead. So there's one fish. Get your weight ticket. Number 2. And they all add up. There's number 3. And he's got 3 today. I got it. Let's see if this 3 will get us there, Derek. It's going to need 12.97. Hair short, 5.83, but congratulations on a great top 10 finish for you. Tell us about your experience on the Delta real quick.
What?
How was your experience on the Delta for you?
Oh, I had a great time this weekend. Had some good draws. Learned a lot of good water. and I'm pretty tired.
Pretty
I tell
tired.
you what, man, I'm wore out after fishing for 3 days on 7 hours of sleep. But it was a great time.
Well, a 28.79 3-day total, nothing to be ashamed of. You've surpassed 95 other anglers on the water today, something very proud of. So congratulations on your top 10. Thanks for fishing with us. Team Dobyns, Derek Benefield, everyone. There's your ticket. 28.79. All right, John, you moved up. You're about in 8th place now, guaranteed, right?
Yeah, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Are you ready to find out who the next one is?
I am.
All right, don't want to waste any time, do you?
Not at all.
Well, let's do it. All right, coming up next, he is from Salinas, California. He had 23.50 yesterday. He's going to need 12.43 to move in today. Nicholas Markert. Nicholas has 2 bags, and if anybody's been in California, we know what that means. He's got a big one. Let's see what we've got here, Nicholas. There's number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Beautiful, healthy fish. Number 4, they're getting bigger. And we're going over to bag number 2. Let's see what this... Nice fish. Nice fish for Nicholas Markert. 12.43 to move into the lead. Hold this one for me. All right. Are you ready, Nicholas? All right, 12.43 to move into the lead. I think you're going to do it. 15.49, you are our new leader right now. Nicholas Markert, tell me about your day.
It was good. I can't complain. I like to thank Ken Ma. He's about the nicest guy I've ever met. And, yeah, it was cool fishing with him today.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Would you like to weigh your big fish, see what it is for the day?
Sure.
Sure? Let's find out how this big fish is. 2-day total, 38.99, moves him right up into the lead. Oh, they find my bag here. Here we go. And that big fish is going to creep up there. He says 5'6", 571. Great fish. And our new leader into the hot seat, Nicholas Markert, everybody. Nicholas, congratulations. Sit down. All right, guys, we're moving on. He had 24.74 yesterday. He's from Wilcox, Arizona. He's going to need 14.25 to move in the lead. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jacob Scholl. All right, Jacob. There's one. Let's see what we got here from the Delta for Jacob. Number 2. Number 3 for Jacob. Number 4 is getting a little bigger.
A little bit.
He says no big ones, but they all add up. Number 5, 14.25 to move in. Think we're going to have it, Jacob?
That's going to be close.
We're going to find out here. Let's see. 14.25 to move into the lead. He had 24.74 yesterday. We're going to fall a hair short. 9.08, but a great finish from your top 10 this weekend. How was it for you out there on the Delta?
Practice went really good. And then first day of fishing, I fished with Juan Acosta. He's a great guy. Took me to some good water. I caught my biggest fish on the Delta and my personal best on here. And then second day was Jim Elliott. He gave me all the water I could fish to help me make it to the top 10. And then I fished with Keith Tripp today in a brand new 521 Ranger, and he's an awesome dude. Great time, great boat, great event. I want to thank Dobyns Rods for the rods that they sponsor me with, and the Wild West for putting on a great tournament.
Hey, we can't do it without you, Jacob. 2-day total, 3-day total, 33.82, sitting in 4th place right now. Once again, congratulations on a great top 10. Jacob Scholl, everybody. All right, Nicholas, are you feeling confident yet?
No.
Why not?
Not at all. Ryan caught him.
There, you think Ryan caught him? We're going to find out, okay? All right, coming up next, as we heard, if you hadn't watched the last cast, when you're watching online, our pre-show, we have a gentleman here from Yoncalla, Oregon. He has fished every single event that we've had so far. Ladies and gentlemen, Dustin Knopfsinger. How you doing, Dustin? Dustin's going to need 14.21 today to move into the lead. He had 24.78 yesterday. And there's number 1 for Dustin. Little happy jumper in there. Number 2. Oh, there sounds like some thrashing in there. Number 3. And Dustin says that's it. All right, Dustin. Take 14:21 to take the lead for you today. I'm not going to say you're not going to do it, but I know it's a hair short. 4:43, but a great 3-day total for you. As always, it's such a pleasure for you to fish all the events with us. How was your experience on the Delta this weekend?
Actually, it was great. I fished it last year with Wild West, and I want to thank Wild West. But I also want to thank Jason Bradshaw for taking me out today. He didn't bring a pillow today, but he really needed a pillow like Randy brought, because he was sleeping on the back of the deck most of the time too. But yeah, I didn't wake him up catching no fish, but we had a good time. He's a great guy.
Very good. And of course, we appreciate you traveling all the way down from Oregon. We have a lot of Wild West anglers from all over the area, but I know it's a lot of travel, a lot of time away from your family. We can't thank you enough for doing it.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. 3-day total, 29-21. I think it's going to put you right in about 6th place. Dustin, congratulations. Thank you for a great top 10. Dustin Knopfstinger, everybody. You're moving right up there, man. What do you think?
I can't complain.
The better it gets, the better it pays, right?
Yes, it does.
100% payback at this tournament. We're going to find out here. Coming up next, he's from Yuba City, California. He had 25.10 yesterday. He's going to need 13.89. Let's give it up for Darren Avalos. Let's see if Darren's got 5 fish today. Number 1. There's number 2. That back up for you there, Darren. Again, Darren's going to need 13.89. He's reaching in there for number 3, getting a little bigger. It is bigger. He's hanging on. There's number 4. That's a pretty fish. There we go. Number 5. All right, Darren. 13.89 to move into the lead. What do you think? 9. He says 9. You were right on. 9.45. Going to put your 2-day total right at about. Not right at about. We'll get it here in just a second here. We'll get you figured up. 34.30 for your 3-day total. Great finish. Great top 10.
Yeah,
How was your
it was
weekend?
great. My weekend was pretty good. I want to thank Ryan for taking me out. I fished with him. He was a great guy. I want to thank my wife for coming out, and my family, my mom. And I want to thank Jack Taylor Law. He sponsors me and my brother fishing, so I want to give him a good thanks you. And Gary and all Wild West. I mean, they put on a great event, so I wouldn't be here without them.
I was going to ask you what kind of rods were you using this weekend.
Oh, I always use Dobyns rods. You know that.
Very good. Again, congratulations on a 3-day weekend. Your 3-day total, 34.30. Darren Avalos, everybody. All right, Mr. Mark Hurt, we're creeping right on up there.
Yeah, the longer I sit here, the better.
Maybe you did better than you thought.
Maybe.
We're going to find out. All right, let's stick around. He's not going anywhere. All right, he's from Salinas County. I heard a little rumor he might have had a big fish today, but we're going to find out. He had 25.76 yesterday. He's going to need 13.23 to take the lead today. Ladies and gentlemen, Troy Diotti. All right. Great 3 days, huh?
Great 3 days.
Right on. Now,
cannot complain.
You know, for those that don't know, we have a father and son duel going on too, right?
We do.
Is there? There's 2 people here. The leader has the same last name.
I did my best. I might give him a run for his money.
We're going to find out here. Let's see what we got here in the bag, okay? Here comes number 1 for Troy. Reaching in there. There's number 1. Never thought you'd have to fish twice, did you? Number 2. These fish are getting bigger, folks. Number 3. Got some fans out there. Number 4. Great Delta fish, and he's going over to the second bag. Uh-oh. There we go. All right, Troy, it's going to take 13.23. Folks, you think he's got 13.23 here? I think you do. Get over here, Troy. Let's see what we got. You're going to sneak it right through. 13.38. You're our new leader. Congratulations. Here's gonna be. There you go. Tell us about your weekend. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, it all started the first day of practice. I drove down here from Salinas. Didn't have a ride for pre-fish. I met a guy at Jack in the Box or something. And he pulled in with his boat. And I go, hey, you fishing a tournament? Yeah. You need some company? He goes, yeah. So we went and fished. We had a ball. We probably got 20 fish.
And who?
And he was another co-angler. His name's Tim. I don't know his last name.
Okay.
Super nice guy. And then I've been working with Bub Tosh on a job. So I got to pre-fish with him the second day, learned a bunch, and the Sunny Hawk, we had an awesome day. We both had like almost 18 pounds. It was really fun. And then I got to fish with my buddy Alex Tran from Coyote Bait and Tackle. And we struggled a little bit, but we got him right at the end of the day. And just enough to get me in and keep me where I'm at, you know. And then today, Jason and I, we just went fishing. Didn't really have a spot, you know what. We catch them on chatterbait, and we just started looking around, and I caught that big one, and it was like, all right, we're good.
Very good. Do we want to weigh that big fish?
Yes, I do.
He wants to weigh it. Okay.
I want to thank my family and friends for coming out.
Very good. Always have to thank family and friends. All right, there we go. That's a good 5-pounder. 5'10", our new current leader. I'm going to grab your fish here. We'll get him back in the water. Sorry, Drangy. Troy Diotti, everybody. Congratulations. Going to take the hot seat, our new leader. He's got 39.14. I'm going to give you a weigh and take to hold on and study, okay? Now, here's the deal, folks. Troy was in third place, so we only have 2 to go. And a couple of them, the next one coming up, happens to be second in the points also. He was second yesterday. He had 26.75. He's from Indio, California. He needs 12.39. Brandon Smith. Now we're going to have to hang on just a minute because I need a weigh-in bag. There it comes, Gary. We got it. No, we're good shape. All right, Brandon, 12.39. Let's see what you got in the basket for you today.
Yeah, I don't know if I got it, but it'll be close.
Let's take a look. You nervous, Troy? He says he is. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. They're getting bigger. And that's it for Brandon Smith, our second place finisher, 26.75. Going to need 12.39 to move into the lead. I'm a pretty optimistic guy, but that third one wasn't quite as big as it needed to be. 5.69. Congratulations on a great 3-day finish. You got 32.44 for 3-day total. How was everything out there on the Delta? I know it was tough today, but
it was tough today. I needed to adjust after my bite shut down, and I just didn't find another bite and struggled the rest of the day to catch keepers. Caught a lot of fish, just a lot of shorts. But I had a great time, fished with 3 great pros. I want to thank all the pros that stuck around today to loan boats to us co-anglers so we could go out and run in the front. It's a great event, great tournament series. I love the format, being able to run. This is the second time I've been able to do it. I got to do it at Mojave. And anybody thinking about fishing tournaments, this is the one to start because you get the chance to run the front of the boat if you make the top 10. And I just want to thank the city of Oakley for putting this on. Big Break Marina. They had a great facility here. Worked with everybody to get boats in the water, and everybody parked, and it was a really smooth event. And then I just want to thank my wife and my daughter for letting me come here and spend time away from home. be out here fishing.
Very good. 7th place overall. Congratulations, Brandon Smith. Appreciate you fishing with us. 32-44 total. All right. Troy, why don't you come on up here with me real quick? Let's have a little chat real quick. Folks, this is going to turn out to be the war of Diotti versus Diotti.
Kind of doesn't happen very often, does it?
I don't think I've been ever on stage where I've had a father-son showdown for the duel on the Delta.
I think it's pretty cool.
Isn't that pretty cool, folks?
I tried to put some pressure on him, but I told him, I go, you're going to have to catch him, kid.
Well, you closed the gap as best you could. He had 35.52 yesterday. He's from Gilroy, California. He's only going to need 362 to take you off. Let's bring him up, folks, for Ryan Diotti. You know, I hate to say it, Troy. I think he might have a little more than 3 pounds in there. Let's see what he's got in here. There's number 1. Oh, number 2. Number 3. Oh, number 4. He says, sorry, Dad. There's number 5. The father and son duel of the Delta is about to come to a close right now. Going to need 362 to take the duel in the Delta right here. And I believe he's got it. 12:26. Ryan Diotti, you are the Delta champion. How about that? First and second, Diotti. Ryan, get over here, grab that piece of jewelry. 2-day total, 47.78. Ryan Diotti, you are our duel on the Delta champion on the co-angler side.
Oh, man, you guys got to forgive me. I'm a sap as it is.
You're all right, buddy. It's all right. Folks, how about that? Father and son, first and second. It's got to be emotional. It's got to be okay. What a great situation. You're all right.
You know, this is like my, I don't know, 8th or 9th pro-am with FLW and you guys. And I really like fishing the Delta, and I've got paired up with a bunch of awesome dudes that, Mike Birch, Ty Au, Brian Smith. I got Lamage Plaza on the first day. Jared Jennings. I've been paired up with some studs, and every time I'm behind them, I'm watching them. And today, it all worked out today.
Well, I'll tell you what, the stud is standing right in front of us right now. Hold that up there. Ryan Diotti, your duel of the Delta co-angler champion. Folks, stick around. We're going to be right back. We're going to find out what the pros got for the duel in the Delta championship. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-sail foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with ever-new E-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Is there a place where the underwater images are the clearest you've ever seen? We're seeing every fish, we're seeing every detail of structure, and where every bottom contour was visible, where whatever you wanted to see below the surface was real. Do you want to go? Structure Scan 3D is the future of fishing. We can show you how to find fish faster and catch fish in a way you've never experienced. Let's get them.
Welcome back to the Wild West Bass Trail General Tire Duel on the Delta. Big Break Marina, Oakley. Whoa! Unbelievable, guys. Our crowd grows every event. Every event. You guys are awesome. Man, we're so used to thanking our sponsors and our anglers, but we got to start by thanking you. This is the big, we're at 750 of you people here for the pregame show. We're now well over 1,000 in the crowd for those watching at home. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you. Thank you, Big Break. Thank you, Oakley. Thank you, Mayor. Awesome. Thank you to the co-anglers and the commissioner, James Bryant, for our co-angler weigh-in. That was really cool to see the father and son showdown. Last year, if you were here last year, you know we had another father-son story that occurred. Richard Dobyns took home this title last year, and that is the son of Mr. Gary Dobyns, our tournament director. So the Delta's got this father-son thing going on. Guys, we could not do this without all of our fantastic sponsors. We thank every sponsor you see here very much. We also couldn't do this without our anglers. And on Championship Sunday, we ask our pro anglers to do something pretty stout. We ask those guys to show up and run a boat and take out a co-angler so that a co-angler can run the front of the boat. Our co-anglers, we're the only circuit in America that allows our co-anglers to call their own shots on Championship Day. Our co-anglers can go out and run that trolling motor. Yeah, it's awesome. But in order to do that, folks, we got to have 10 pro anglers donate their time and their boat at every event to come out here and take those co-anglers out. So what we do is we ask for volunteers, and we got them. And you know what? We're going to do a real special thank you to you pro anglers that showed up and donated your time today, man. We really appreciate you. Zach Elwright, Clayton Eastlick, Jason Barofka, Ryan Tripp, Jason Bradshaw, Keith Tripp, Ken Ma, Jeff Lamy, Randy Pearson, and Vince Hurtado. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Y'all ready to do it? Yeah. You might know our leader. He was leading after day 2. He's kind of a big deal, dude, as Gary Dobyns might say. He calls both Maud, Texas and Oakley, California home. We might say he's transitioning. Mr. Bobby Barrick. Come on up here, Bobby. Congratulations. Bobby is our leader coming in. He had 53, 55. That's a pretty good 2-day total, brother.
Yeah, it is. And unfortunately, it's on the Delta where guys can eclipse a lead like that, especially when you fish the way I fished today. So it's gonna be interesting. I think I'm one fish short, to be honest with you. I know maybe we're not supposed to talk about this kind of stuff, but
you're not, but okay.
Okay. It's gonna be really interesting. I kind of peeked at Nick's bag, and this is gonna be ugly. I'm on pins and needles right now. So I know that Hunter just won a tournament, and Robert Lee had like a 9-pound lead, kind of the same deal.
Right.
And kind of like, so I know Robert felt a lot like the way the Atlanta Falcons did after Brady did the thing to him, and so I don't need Nick to do the thing to me.
No, you don't. And we're gonna make you sit over there and wait it out, dude. Oh, great. Thank you, Bob. Right over here, you're on our Ranger Evinrude hot seat, Mr. Bobby Barrick, your own here from Oakley, California. At least for another couple of weeks, he'll be from Oakley. All right, guys, we're going to start our way in now. There's your current leader, Mr. Bobby Barrick. So we're going to start. This first gentleman comes to us. He hails from Modesto, California. We call it Motown. He won a big tournament here last month. He knows this Delta. Mr. Hunter Schlander. All right, Hunter, we're going to ask you to take those fish out and show them to the crowd one at a time so they can see the beautiful, fat, sassy green bass that are harbored here in this California Delta. First one in the bag. Nice, solid keeper, Hunter. That's a good start to the day. Hunter Schlander is one of our CNC Marine sponsored anglers. Nice fish, Hunter. He is also one of our Ranger, Power Pole, and Lowrance pros. We love all those sponsors, Hunter. Third fish in the bag. Dude, they're growing. They're growing, Bobby. Another nice fish for Hunter. Oh, nice fish, Hunter. Nice fish. All right, that's the full bag, right? I'm going to ask you to hold this, sir. I thought Gary was going to do this. Gary's letting me down. Here you go, buddy. Go hold this one for me. We got a technical deal going. All right, well, then you deal with the technical stuff, and I'll weigh the fish, man. All right, let's go. 1507, Hunter. 1507 for your bag of fish. Somebody needs to take these. Here you go, Matt. Thank you, bud. Hunter, you had an awesome tournament here last month. You had another, now, by the way, sorry to tell you, that was not enough for you to take over first place. You needed 21 plus. How was it this weekend out there for you?
You know, it was a grind. It was really tough. I never really had anything dialed in to say, and kind of scrambled around, junk fished. A lot different than a couple weeks ago, and pretty thankful to make the top 10, to be honest. So I'm happy to be here.
How were the fish different than a couple weeks ago? Are they in a different phase, or was it a different kind of bite?
Yeah, it seemed like a lot more fish had pushed off, and you could catch them shallow in the morning, and then they'd push off. And a couple weeks ago, it just seemed like there were a lot more fish up. So that was the difference.
Awesome, Hunter. We appreciate you coming out and fishing with us, and we hope to see you again next year, buddy.
I'd like to thank a couple people. First off, Ranger Boats. Ran the Ranger this week in god-awful wind and did an incredible job. It was an awesome boat. Ranger Mercury, CNC Marine, California Reservoir Lures, Trapper Tackle. I appreciate all the support.
Thank you, Hunter. We appreciate you. We'll see you next season, buddy. This gentleman comes to us from San Juan Capistrano. He had 32.99 coming into the day. He needs 20.56 to knock Mr. Barrick out of that hot seat. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know he might have it. It's going to be close, huh, buddy?
It's going to be close, I think. Every day my weight's gone up, so I'm hoping today we break the 20-pound mark.
Well, you got 2 bags. That's a good start. Let's see those fish. And you can put them all in one bag here for us. First fish in. Nice. This is a good start, dude. That's a good start. Thank you, bud. Second fish in. Nice fish. Nice fish. Miles Howe's third fish. Again, Miles needs 20.56 to take that hot seat from Mr. Barrick. Uh-oh. They're growing, Bobby. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Uh-oh. They're still growing. Oh, boy. Nice Delta bass. That is a nice Delta bass. All right, Miles. Let's get those on the scale and see the damage. Once again, folks, Miles needs 2056 to knock Mr. Barrick off of this seat. Will he have 2056? Oh, 2022. 2022. That's a great bag, Miles. Great bag. Wow, we had some intel on you. I was told Miles has 20 pounds. That's pretty good intel, dude.
Yeah, my guess was right on. I've been fishing the same water for the last 3 days. Yeah, it's all post-spawn fish that I'm catching. You know, one's offshore a little bit, a big grass mat that every day replenishes with 3-pounder, 3-pounder, 3-pounder. And then, so today I changed things up a little bit. I ran opposite, started where I ended yesterday and ended up with 20 pounds.
Man, we know you're a Ranger Boat Pro. Any other sponsors you want to thank for this weekend?
Well, first off, I want to thank Wild West. They put on a great tournament. This is my second one fishing with them. Definitely not my last. You know, fishing today solo was awesome. You get every angle. You could turn the boat around and you could fire back at different angles, and that helped a lot. So I'd like to thank Pro Point Lures. I mean, they make some baits out into there right now that help me. G. Loomis, AFCO, Yeti, Buffalo Wild Wings, and my title sponsor is How Elite Parking Solutions.
How Elite for Hal. That's cool. We look forward to seeing you next season, buddy.
Thank you. I look forward to being back.
Thank you, Miles. So Miles has moved into second place. Bobby, you're still sitting over here, bud. Just by a little bit. Yeah, you made about half a pound there. All right, coming up next, he was our champion on Lake Mead last year. He catches fish at every destination. He's a fine young man, an even better angler, and that is your TOC champion from last year, Mr. Bryant Smith. You got some fish in there today, buddy?
I got some fish in there. Not what I wanted, but, you know, fishing in the top 10, you can't beat that against these guys.
No, you've been in the top. How many times have you been in the top 10 this year?
Just twice.
Oh, just twice. Out of what, 3 or 4 tournaments?
5.
Out of 5. Oh, 2 out of 5. You're only batting 40%, right? Yeah, yeah. You got to step it up if you want to win another TOC.
Exactly. Well, that would be my third top 10.
There you go. Let's see those fish, bud. First fish in the bag for Mr. Bryant Smith. Bryant's got his rooting section over here to the left. Sisters, father, family. All right, second fish in for Bryant. Third, ooh, they're growing. Third fish in for Bryant. Oh, they're definitely growing. Look at you, Bryant. Look at you, buddy. We were watching Bryant on the GPS tracker, and he was all over this delta today. Nice fish, Bryant. Nice fish. Nice bag, buddy. Let's weigh those up and see what you need. Bryant, you need 1969 to take that lead. 1969. Captain Dobyns is going to throw him onto the scale, and we're going to check it out. Bobby, you're still alive. 1662. 1662. Great day on the Delta. Great day. Of course, you're not going to take home the title, but you're way up our leaderboard. You're taking home a good check. Tell us about your weekend, man.
Oh, my weekend was a grind. The wind didn't help at all, but I'm glad I was running the right boat with the right motor. But I just kind of junk fished all week. You know, I'd fish a few spots that I knew and then just kind of bounce my way, kind of follow the tide all the way as far south as I could get before I had to get back to Big Break. But, you know, I caught them on a lot of different things. The first day was a chatterbait and a buzzbait, and second day I had to slow down a little bit, throw a drop shot and a chatterbait and a crankbait. And today was I caught my 2 better ones on a drop shot and then one good one on a water plopper, actually.
Very nice, very nice. Anybody you want to thank for this weekend?
Oh, absolutely. Dobyns rods, you know, on top of making a great product, great rod, the best rod in my opinion, they put money back into our sport. You know, they support us, and that's the kind of companies we need to support. Marine Unlimited, Evinrude. Without that Evinrude, I would have got wet this week. I promise you, because it's the throttle response on that motor with the G2 is unreal. If you hit it, your bow goes down. Yeah. If you don't, you're going straight into the next wave. So it was, I can't say enough good things about that Evinrude.
Some of us even got wet with that Evinrude because Gary Dobyns was our boat driver, but that's a different story.
Yeah, but I had nothing but good things to say about that. Ranger boats and Marine Unlimited, Dobyns rods. I mean, backed by the best people.
How about these people sitting
Oh,
out
absolutely.
here
I'm sorry. My dad's been here 3 days. My sister's been here 2 days. And my girlfriend, my beautiful girlfriend, she showed up today, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, I thought that was your sister. I'm sorry. That would have been weird and illegal in this state.
No, that's my beautiful girlfriend.
Thank you, buddy. We appreciate having you as our champion, and we're going to see you defending at Lake Mead this fall. Thank you. Thanks, bud. Hey, Bryant.
Thank you.
Coming up next, out of Hollister, California, this angler needs 1903 to knock Mr. Barrick out of this chair, and that's Billy Hume. Come on up, Billy. Woo! Oh, wow! Oh, we've got signage in the crowd. I love it. Make sure we got Phil the camera. Tim the Toolman cameraman taking advantage of that. Dude, signage in the crowd might be the first ever for a Wild West Bass event. How do you feel about that?
That's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome. Yeah. She looks like a rabid fan right there.
Yeah, that's my little girl. She's pretty awesome.
Is she also a rabid fisherwoman?
No, they don't like the boat.
They don't like the boat. They just like Dad. Well, good enough. Let's see them fish, Dad. Cool, man. Billy Hume needing 1903. That first fish into the bag. First keeper down. Second keeper into the bag for Mr. Hume. 3 in the bag. Looks like we're going to have a limit. Maybe, maybe not. 4 fish. All right. 5 fish. Nice fish. They grew as we went along. Let's get those fish right onto the scales and see what they weigh. We know that you need 1903 in order to take the lead. And, whoa, Mr. Barrick, it's going to be close. Nah, no, it's not. Sorry. 954. 954 is a good weight, a solid weight. That's a good day. Dude, how could it be bad? How could it ever be bad if you got that kind of response? The sign, the family.
It can't be bad.
Tell us about your weekend.
Today was this was my first Pro-Am fishing ever. This is just awesome. I turned 40 in about 2 weeks, and this is a good birthday present.
I can assure you it's all downhill from there, so enjoy this right now.
Yeah. No, I want to thank Wild West. This is awesome. The tournaments they put on, we fish the team events, and this is my first Pro-Am. I mean, this is an awesome setup. This is really good. And then, of course, my family. I mean, got to be the family.
Got to be the family. Tell us just a little bit about how you caught your fish this weekend. You can put that one in your pocket. That's for you, bud.
Day 1 was a chatterbait and frog and punch in the afternoon after the tide drop. Day 2, couple on a chatterbait. Then it was just punch as soon as the tide dropped out. And then today, cranking and punching.
Thank you, Billy. We really appreciate you coming out and fishing with us. We'll see you next year, right? Moving through our weigh-in, folks. We're up to number 6. Up to number 6 today. He comes to us from Vacaville, California. Gary and I had the honor of getting to watch him fish for a little bit. If you were here for Last Cast, our pregame show, you got to watch him fish right up on that screen, and that's Mr. Dylan Waldroop. Bobby, the way this deal works, and I know you know, the weights go down, right? What he needs is a little less than what the last guy needed. So Dylan only needs 1685 to remove you from this seat. Of course, we're going to let you weigh fish at the end. You know, this isn't your last shot. Let's see those fish, Dylan. Let's show them to the crowd one at a time. First fish in the bag. You guys have really healthy, stout-looking largemouth out here in the Delta. We love that. Second fish in the bag. Green, shiny, lively fish. There you go. 3 in the bag. Must be Big Break Marina and Oakley that makes those fish so beautiful. I don't think they're that pretty if you're not at Big Break. 4 in the bag. Going in for our 5th fish. See, he did get a limit, Gary. He did get a limit. There it is. Nice fish. Nice fish. When we watched him fish, middle of the day, he only had 4, and Gary said, oh, he's going to get a limit, no problem. So you need 1685 to make that happen. I think that's going to be a stout challenge. We'll see if you got it, though. Gary's going to put him onto the scale. Mr. Dobyns weighs him up for us. Your weight is going to be 1279. 1279. Not quite enough to take first, but you're fishing on Championship Sunday. We're going to have a nice check for you. That ain't all bad, right?
No, that's real good. I'd like to thank my wife and kids, Nelson's Outboard, and the Wild West for putting on a great event. Just awesome. I'm stoked to be in the top 10 again. I was in 4th last year, and just happy to be here.
Pretty good repeat performance, man. A couple of top 10s, 2 tournaments out here. Talk a little bit about how you caught those fish this weekend.
I caught everything on jerkbait, chatterbait, a buzzbait, and flipped a couple.
Rat?
I missed and lost a good one.
Missed because we watched him fish a rat. That's why I wanted to ask.
Got a little one today on it.
A little one. All right, dude. Thank you for coming out, man. We really appreciate you fishing with us, Dylan. We'll see you next year. Moving right through, Dylan's gone. Concord, California. There are only 4 potential more anglers to remove you from that seat, Bobby. We're moving on through. Concord, California, 5th place. This was Gary Dobyns' potential upset look today for somebody who could unseat Bobby. Philip Dutra. Yeah, Gary bet on you, Philip. Let's see those fish. First one in the bag. Well, Gary, that's not the kind of fish that he's going to need to do this. Second fish in the bag. Philip needs 1675 to knock Mr. Barrick off that chair. Third one in. They're growing, Bobby. They're growing. Let's see what he's got. They are getting bigger. Nice fish, Philip. Nice fish. Again, folks, he needs 1675, and that is a good fish. That is a nice, stout Cal Delta bass. Let's weigh him up. All right, buddy, you had 3680 coming in. You need 16 3/4 to take the lead. We saw that you were fishing up in the kind of central west, northwest delta, I'd say. Is that right?
Yeah, central-ish kind of area.
1675 is what he needs. He's just a little short. 1537, Philip. 1537. Tell us a little bit about how this week went for you.
Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. I was really hoping that the first day we had the weather we had the second day. I really wanted miserable conditions. I wanted it to be bluebird and cloudy, or I'm sorry, bluebird and sunny. But the clouds came in and the weights just went off the hook, and so I kind of had to come from behind on day 2.
Now, why did you want bluebird conditions? Because we talked about a lot of that in the pregame show. Robert Lee told us why he wanted it. Why did you want bluebird conditions?
I honestly wanted it because most of the time the weights are really low, and I have a few things that work for me that I usually can catch them pretty good.
And what are those things?
Just different little flipping techniques, finesse, and just being real specific. They get really tight to cover, and so if you're not just throwing reaction baits around, you can really pinpoint exactly where they're going to be. And so yeah, day 1 I had just under 16. Day 2 I got the weather I wanted, had a good day. And then today it was kind of a mix. I lost a big one at like 9 minutes to go, so that kind of hurt. But yeah.
Anybody you want to thank for this weekend out here?
Yeah, just want to thank Phoenix Rods, Dan's Delta Outdoors, Lumpy's Diner, and Toxic Baits for the support. So, and family and friends for coming out.
And of course, you're one of our Ranger Boat pros, and we thank you for that, Philip. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next year, buddy. Thank you. Retro. All right. This angler was also one that we got to watch out on the water today. He comes to us from San Ramon, California. He was 4th place coming into the day. He is the proprietor of Bass Angler Magazine. He is Mr. Mark Lasang. The weights are going down, dude. He only needs 1517 to take the lead. 1517, Mark. Let's see him. Let's see the first one. We got to watch Mark fish out there today. Had a good time. Nice keeper. First one in the bag. Going to see Mark's second fish, another solid fish. Man, if they're all like that, it could be real close, Bobby. They are looking like they're all like that. Another good fish for Mark Lasang. Mark saved a more petite bass for later in his creel here. Another nice fish in the bag. If I'm not crazy, that was 5. Let's get those up on the scale, Mark, and see what you did. You have a 38-38 two-day total. You need 15-17 to unseat Bobby Barrick out of that Ranger Evinrude hot seat. Gary Dobyns says it's going to be tough, but maybe close. Let's see. He needs 15-17. He got 1470. Bobby, you are living dangerously over there. Living dangerously. Mark, that's a great finish. You're going to take home a great check with us. Tell us about your weekend.
You know, I had a really great week. I punched all week. Every single fish.
We watched you doing some of that.
Every single fish was caught punching. You know, I'm throwing a Yamamoto flapping hog on a Matt Daddy Akuma rod, 8-foot heavy-duty rod, 1.5 ounce river to sea tungsten weight. So it was just great. I'd like to thank, you know, Big Break Marina. They did a great job here. Wild West. This is my first top 10 with you guys. My first top 10 in a while, actually. You know, and it's great. It was great to be here. City of Oakley, man, they always put on a good event. You know, I'd like to thank my wife. She's probably watching. You know, if she would have showed up, I was going to give her the check, but, you know, she didn't show up, so she's at home.
You know, she doesn't live that far, and it'll probably be another 45 minutes or so before you get that check, so.
Maybe I should have waited.
You might have wanted to wait to say that.
You know, I'd like to just thank my sponsors real quick. Triton, Mercury, man, they do a great job. You know, Garmin, Akuma, Savage Gear, Yamamoto. You know, really, without sponsors, you know, we couldn't be here. Bass Angler Magazine.
I was going to say, how about that great information we get from Bass Angler Magazine?
You know, yeah, I do publish Bass Angler Magazine. I enjoy doing it. I really like getting the good info out to all the guys. And, you know, we really appreciate all the readers and subscribers.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate you fishing with us. We will see you next season, buddy. There you go. Moving on through. Well, you know what? Bobby's still here. And there's only 2 guys left to weigh, Bobby. This could be a first, man. We may not even need to get to your fish. Whoa. All right, so coming up next, Glendale, Arizona. He catches them in the desert. He catches them in the mountains. He catches them at Clear Lake. And now, apparently, he catches them at the Delta. This is Ty Ow. Oh, let me do it like you. Oh, you do it like you do it. Do it the right way. You do it. Ty Ow. All right, we'll do it right. Ty Ow, let's see your fish, Ty. Nice fish. It's a good start. If that's his smallest one, you're in trouble. Yeah, okay. Okay, similar fish. We got another one in there. He wants to make it close, apparently. Ty, you need 1468. Uh-oh. They're getting bigger. You need 1468 to take that Ranger Evinrude hot seat. Nice fish. Nice fish, Ty. Whoa, they are fighting. No. I think we might have done it, Bobby. We'll have to get the official numbers from Mr. Dobyns, but 1468. You predict it. You got it or not?
I think I do. But you know, it's funny. Bobby and I were just talking. This place, the California Delta, is actually the place that I fell back in love with fishing.
Do you got it? Do you got it? Oh, you got it. 1720. 1720. We'll see you in a little bit. You get to weigh some fish, Bobby. As I interrupted your story so rudely to put you into first place, tell me about your love of this Delta and Big Break Marina and the city of Oakley.
You know, I drew Bobby Barrick 7 years ago in a tournament, and you know what? If I didn't draw him as a co-angler, I would not be sitting up here talking to you guys, making the top 10 in the California Delta. I've actually learned a lot, and you know, myself as an angler, I learned a lot fishing as a co-angler before I jumped to the front, and still, as well as I've recently done, I felt like I jumped to the front of the boat a year too early. So take advantage of the program and learn from as many pros as you can before you jump up. I mean, don't do what I did. I spent a year donating to these guys before, you know, finally making some money.
Well, they like that. The other pros like that.
I don't. Yeah. So, But yeah, just had a great week. I mean, this is my third top 10 this year out of 5 tournaments. I didn't have a single local lake on my schedule, but the California Delta is the one that I felt comfortable with. I actually consider this my home away from home. I want to thank Big Break Marina. I mean, this is just an awesome setup, and you know what? I love the long runs in my Evinrude. I ran, 30 on miles and without a hitch, and I was passing a lot of boats and made good use of my fishing time because I ran to my area, stayed there all day, just puttered around, and then ran back. And my motor ran without a hitch. Didn't spend too much on gas because that Evinrude is just awesome on gas and oil as well. I currently run Lucas Oil on my stuff. I also want to thank you guys. I want the Lucas Oil drawing. I think you guys should have a contest regarding how much we won on that. I think I'm up at $1,500. So
I think what he's saying, Gary, is when we do those statistics on anglers with the most career winnings in Wild West Bass, Ty's always right up in the top 3. But we could add the Lucas Oil drawing money because we do a random drawing in the middle of our tournament, and 3 guys get $500. This guy takes everybody's money because he's always in the top 10 anyway, and he won the dang $500 yesterday, people. You got to ease up on these guys.
You know what? The key thing for me is just supporting your supporters. I know without the supporters for Wild West, Lucas Oil, you guys would not be doing this, and I wouldn't be up here talking to you guys. So thank you, Gary. He got me a 736 glass cranking rod. I caught all my fish that I weighed in on a chatterbait, 20-pound P-line fluorocarbon, half-ounce purple chatterbait. Gary Yamamoto Zako, that's my trailer, and I weighed 25 pounds the first day. The second day I could have had a pretty big bag. I lost I think it was about an 8-pounder, and today I never lost a big fish or anything like that, but everything came off that purple chatterbait.
Ty, thank you so much. We're going to make you sit over in that Ranger Evinrude hot seat, and I think it's pretty cool that we're at the General Tire Duel on the Delta, and we got our General Tire Pro here who's going to take that seat right there. How about that?
Yeah, how about that? So, real quick, just want to give a shout out to my fiance back at home. I know she's hard working with the kids. General Tire, Lucas Oil, Costa, Sun Transmission, Andrew with A&M Graphics, Lawrence, G-Funk Bakes, Jason Barofka over there. I mean, Barofka. It's a confusing last name, but thank you so much for the support. I wouldn't be up here doing this if it wasn't for the support that I have.
Thank you, Ty. Saddle up, buddy. You're going to be sitting here for a little bit anyway. Take lessons from Ty, folks. There is no better pro. There is no better spokesman for his sponsors and his circuit. We appreciate you, Ty, and you're now sitting in first place. You're going to get another big check. At least, worst case scenario, you got a 3rd place check coming, right? Yeah. Oh, and you will have the 1st place Evinrude money. That's right. He will have the 1st place Evinrude money. So a minimum of $5,000, and if he wins, $10,000, right? So it's worth repeating because there is no better sponsor than Evinrude out there, folks. Evinrude kicks in $10,000 to the Wild West Bass Trail. If you win the event, you get $10,000. If somebody wins the event that's not running an Evinrude, we pay out $5,000, $3,000, and $2,000 to the top 3 Evinrudes in the field. So we've paid out $2,000 Evinrude checks to guys that finish 30th, 38th, whatever. These guys that are running Evinrudes are cleaning house, folks. Evinrude is where it's at. Oh, yeah. We got Evinrude in the house. All right. Bring it. There's 2 left, folks. This gentleman is one of your local anglers. He comes to us from Benicia, California. He was the bridesmaid last year, taking 2nd place at this event. Mr. Nick Nero. Nick's got a solid bag of fish. We know because we watched him fish. Nick, show those fish to the crowd. Let's put them in the bag one at a time. Got to know Nick a little bit over the last couple years. A great man. Oh, there you go. Look at that fish. He's been working hard making his bed, that fish has. 2nd one in the bag. Third fish coming up for Nick Nero. Nick only needs 12-10, Ty. Nick needs 12-10 to knock you off of that seat. They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. He might have it. This is our last one. 5th fish. This is number 5. Oh, there's a giant Delta bass. Giant Delta bass into the bag. Let's weigh him up. All right. Again, I said he needs 12.10 to do it. And as we put these in here, Ty, I think you're in trouble. We've got a new leader, folks. 16. Premature elidulation. Careful. We're going to have a new leader, though. I was just foreshadowing. 1630. Congratulations. Ty, second or third for you, buddy? Second or third for you. Tell us a little bit about your week, Nick.
Friday was great. The weather, like Phil was saying, was supposed to be sunny and windy, and we get out here in the morning and it's really cloudy and nice, and the fish bit really well. I had 22 pounds and thought I was doing good and just lucked into a 6.5 pounder.
Now, unlike Phil, were you rooting for the cloudy weather, or would you have preferred a tougher bite?
I didn't know what to do. No matter if it was pouring rain, I still wouldn't have known what to do. I just went fishing. That's my answer.
Honest answer.
I mean, obviously they bit really well, a lot better than most people thought they were going to. The weights are a little higher. They drop off pretty quickly, but there was a lot of big fish caught this week for sure, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, no doubt, absolutely a lot of big fish. The Delta's we talked a lot about this in our last cast pregame show, and the Delta's been fishing tough for really a year and a half, and it really didn't fish as tough for this tournament, right?
Yeah, that day one weather definitely made them bite, and there was a lot of big bags day one, and that was my best day. I had 25 the first day, 19 the second day, and 16 and a half almost today. So,
is there anybody you want to thank for this weekend out here?
Yeah, definitely. I have my wife here, Jessica, and my sister Lois, brother-in-law Brian, and then Logan, Lila, and Zaina, and those are my nieces and nephews essentially, and they came out to watch me weigh in today, so that's really special. They haven't been to one yet. My wife comes almost every time.
Thank you for coming out.
Yep, it's like you said earlier, it's my fan club. So, and that's it. I just thank you to Wild West Bass Trail for coming out here and doing the Delta event again. It's definitely one of the funnest pro-ams that you can fish. The energy and how you guys are laughing and doing the shows and enjoying yourselves is a lot different than most pro-ams. It's less serious, even though it's still a really big event. So it's a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
Well, whenever you're around that guy, it's hard not to laugh, at least at him, if not with him.
He seems like a nonstop giggler.
Nick, we thank you so much. We hope to see you at all of our events next year. You're too good to not be fishing all of them, man.
I would love to somehow get to every event. I would love to. I love fishing all different types of bodies of water, not just the Delta. So.
Well, you're going to have a big check. We could put that into a little bit of maybe a 6-month bond, and you can see me about that. I'll help you out, and we'll cover your entry fees next year. You're going to get to go sit in the Ranger Evan Root hot seat, bud. Yeah. All right. Last, but of course not least, you know who's coming up next. He was your day one leader. He's going to need a whopping 672 to take this lead. He currently calls Oakley, California home. He might soon be calling Maud, Texas home, it sounds like. Mr. Bobby Barrick. Let's get right into seeing those fish. How do we feel about that? Let's get right into seeing them. Uh-oh, Gary said you got a little bitty one, dude.
You know, talking about the fish, right? Okay. No, yeah.
Let's see them, and then let's do the story. Yeah, let's get the fish.
Okay, we're going to redo this, okay? All right.
Let's see. Let's see them, and then we'll talk. Let's do that. I want to see them. No, you want to talk.
I've been, this Big Break Marina, Gary, the circuit, your guys' crew, the Wild you guys your staff is awesome. Everybody, just like Nick just said, the personalities that are out here, it's awesome. It's very, very professional, but it's upbeat, little humor, it's the guys, right? But they keep it at this level right here. Awesome stuff. This guy right here, June. So I'm gonna real quick.
We got to weigh your fish, Bobby. We're gonna let you talk.
We're not worried about the fish right now. All right. So this is a really cool story. So June 11th, 1990. Okay, it was the first day that I met this guy right here. June 11th, 1990. 27 years ago to the day. I knew this guy. I felt like I knew him because John Gans introduced us on the phone back in January. He says, well, Bobby does the Delta. Gary doesn't really, they could drain that sucker as far as I'm concerned, dude. That was his favorite line. And so anyway, so I talked to Gary back and forth 6 months. June 11, 1990, we sign up for let's go fishing. Okay, they're having a hook, line, and sinker tournament. I tell Al Anthony, I said, hey, we're going to sign up. And he goes, that guy and you? Really? Okay. This is going to get people upset. That's all right. We won that tournament with 13.95 pounds. Kenny Schmidt and Bob Kornhauser were in second. Yeah, seven fish for 13.95. Second place, Kenny Schmidt and Bob Kornhauser had 11 and a quarter pounds. Everybody made such a big deal about us having a summertime 2-pound average. We got lots more stories out there, but
Delta's changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Things are now. We're here in June, and you better have them. That 2-pound thing don't work anymore, except for maybe today.
Let's see them, dude. We want to get those fish back in the live wells. Okay. Let's see them. One at a time. We're gonna look at Bobby's fish. Bobby needs 672 to take the lead. He is your local Oakley, California professional angler. First one in the bag. Well, I guess Bobby wants to keep the suspense going because that's not the kind you want, buddy. 672. Uh-oh, he's got two. He's got two. Third fish in. Wow, Bobby, they're not as big as the last couple days. They didn't grow over the weekend for you. Getting a little bigger now, though. Getting a little bigger now. Uh-oh, there we go. Now I think Nick's in trouble. Come on up here, Nick. Come on up here and stand here next to Bobby. One of these gentlemen will be your Wild West Bass Trail General Tire Duel on the Delta champion. As soon as Mr. Dobyns puts him on the scale, we are going to crown that champion. Matt Morgan's going to bring that trophy up here. You need 672, and you've got a whopping 1271. Bobby Barrick is your General Tire Duel on the Delta champion. Woo! Turning frogs into toads, Bobby Barrick. One of Gary Dobyns' first team partners out there. Bobby Barrick takes home the title on the California Delta. They're taking pictures. Outstanding, Bobby. Look at that beautiful trophy, man. You got one that's that cool?
I don't have one that's this cool. The only trophy that I have that maybe rivals this one here is again, and this is a Gary Dobyns story.
No way, dude. I don't even believe that. Are you serious?
No, I ain't shooting you, dude.
No, I ain't shooting you either, man.
Okay, I'm sorry. KCBS Big Bass Derby, April 4th, 1993.
This guy's an encyclopedia.
Yeah. No, hey, check it out. So, hey, in that, I love that trophy. That's going to be my new spittoon right there, buddy. So, we're fishing a Big Bass Derby. There is 1,590-something people in this tournament. Western Bass, West Coast Bass, Big Bass Derby. Me and Gary, it's $740 for hourly prizes, 6 hourly Saturday, 6 hourly Sunday, and we're throwing scatter shads, we're throwing sluggos. And
you really are going old school.
Oh man, we're gonna win 4 or 5 hourly prizes. We're gonna make a lot of money this weekend. The first day we go up in White Slough, Mike Cato's over there, that guy's over there, he's over there, Gary Okasaku's over there, everybody's all over the place. Every point is covered. And they got this thing on the radio, and anyway, we do horrible. And so at the end of the day, we get nothing, weighed no fish, didn't catch a fish over 4 pounds. And so the second day, what's he say? He goes, dude, we got to make some money this weekend. Newby's having a tournament up there at Orville. We'll win that one. But we got a one bass team tournament next week with 125 boats in it. Let's try and win that one. We'll practice today. So anyway, long story short, he, at about 8:30 in the morning on the second day, we go to this little place. I call it the KCBS berm. And Gary's up front, and he's throwing a spinnerbait. Chartreuse and blue, DC killer, chartreuse and blue, 2 gold blades towards the bottom of the tide, and he gets mama on. And this thing, he goes, oh, dude, Bobby, get the net, get the net. And she goes left to right, like, bam, like that. And then she's gone. And this guy turns into little child, right? He does, oh, dude, you see that fish? That was a $70,000 fish, dude. Oh, my God, oh, my God. He goes back and sits down in the chair like this with his head. He did that, and I'm up front. I'm throwing a Gans buzzbait with a black lizard on it, about that long, with a clacker. Or no, that was a Bobby D buzzbait. Anyway. And I'm going, click, click. This was before break.
Are you sure it wasn't you that lost the fish and not Gary?
No, he did.
Because we've heard those stories too this weekend.
No. He's still pouting. Okay. He's still pouting back there. And so I'm shaking my buzzbait. I go, oh, Gary, it's okay, man. We'll get another shot at a big one like that. Yeah, you'll be okay, bud. Come on. Whoosh. Gary, get the net. Gary, get the net. Oh, dude, did you see the size of that bass? Gary, I got a good one on. Get the net. Oh, dude. He goes, bouncer. Gary, she's in the grass. Get the net. And he goes, oh, dude. He comes, lumbers up and boom. He grabs the net and he goes, oh, dude, did you see that? He sat down here. He goes, where is she? Oh, he pulls it up like that. And he goes, oh, man, look at the size of that. And he looked up at me. He goes, mine was bigger. And I said,
he still says that.
And I said, yeah, but mine's in the net.
Gary, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to come up with your best Bobby Barrack story. Just wait a minute. We're gonna let Bobby go through what he wants to go through. I'm gonna give you a little time over there to work on it so you can get some redemption. You're gonna finish this interview. I'm just gonna carry it through here for Bobby. Yeah. What else do you want to tell us, Mr. Barrack?
Oh, I want to thank my wife, my wonderful. Oh, thanks. I'd just like to thank my wonderful wife, the love of my life. This was our 30th anniversary on Wednesday. Stacy had to, Grandpa Fred, he passed away, so she is at the memorial service up there in Washington. They're all watching. You got a whole crowd of people from Washington. You got a whole new fan club up there in Washington, and they love this. A lot of them have never seen, don't know what bass fishing is, don't understand it, and all that kind of stuff. And they are like Breaking Bad, like the first time you watch Breaking Bad, like more. You know, we're going to fire through this stuff. So they're probably going through your archives when this thing's over with. But anyway, Stacy, my mom and dad, they got to watch this thing. You guys do the live thing like that, and it's absolutely awesome. Sam's, I got the most awesome sponsors that there is. Sam's Snag Proof Rattle Trap, Yamamoto, Falcon Rods, Dandy Baits, and Lucky Craft are my key sponsors. And I'd also like to thank General Tire and Lucas Oil. I mean, I know they're huge for you guys, and without General Tire and Lucas, they can't do this. And man, I'll tell you what, I've won a lot of tournaments, and you've won more than anybody, but I won a lot of tournaments, and this one really, really means a lot to me. I was really hoping, I was thinking about your article that you did a few years back about fishing chicken. How many times?
We did that on the TV show for you today. He talked about it, so you're foreshadowing the TV show that'll come up.
How many times did and we didn't talk about, we haven't talked, I've never mentioned that to you. I read your article, but I never mentioned it. I go, yeah, that's been me. And this week, today especially, going through the fishing on Friday, awesome. You know, this river's been, we all thought that it was going to take 17 pounds, 18 pounds a day could maybe win. And then Friday started, and the river kind of showed itself off a little bit. And I was catching with an Echo 175 rattle trap. It's a square bill crankbait. It's a shallow, it goes 1 to 3 foot. Awesome crankbait. I was getting off to a great start each morning. And with that little Echo, anything less than 3 feet, I'm firing an Echo at it. Anything a little bit deeper from 3 to 4, 3 to 5, with a little bit of current sparse toolies, I'm throwing a Dandy Baits, double-bladed, 2 4.5 willow leaf gold on an SLK. And we call it SLK because it's a Sherman Lake killer. And, well, it used to be when Sherman Lake used to have fish in it. But those days are over. But that's how we got started. And I'd get 1 4 or 5 pounder. The first day I got a 5 on the spinnerbait. I got a 5 on the Echo. And so we were looking good. And then just kind of junk fish the rest of the day, caught a couple frog fish and just, you know, punched a couple of fish. Anyway, so we ended up with 24 and thought I'd be in really good shape. And then you start seeing the weights and you go, oh, my gosh, man, the river's back for a minute, right? And then, yeah, and so the next day, weather changed a little bit. So I did the spinnerbait thing again with the Echo, caught a couple of 3s with the Echo. with the spinnerbait, and then a Bobby D jig. I used a G Money jig, and just a lot of different types of products. And then I picked up the flipping stick. Let's see if we can upgrade here. And I started punching. And I went to the big. We need to do a seminar. We need to do a video on punching and the different bites. I wish that everybody can experience the weight, the feel. That if, like when I'm guiding, I always tell everybody, if you start to think, just swing, because you think because something has changed. So you flip, you know how deep it is, you flip, wiggle, it goes through, wiggle, it goes through, wiggle, it go, and you start to think. You better be swinging because the clock's ticking. So the first one I didn't. I didn't listen to my own advice. I flip in there, and I know that it's that deep, and that thing went about this far down, and it just stopped. And I lifted up and checked her, and I got my rod about right here. It's like, hey, knucklehead, that's her. And I swing from here to here, and you know, you do this too much, that should not happen. Just bad mistake, horrible execution. But I got it right, because about 7 more flips, did the same thing. Went down, it's about this deep. It went down about that far, and it just stopped. And I wrecked that fish's world. It gave her the bad news when and my partner chased that sucker around in that slop for, it seemed like forever. And you guys got the net this year, thank you. Because I lost one of those that was bigger than that last year with that stupid Glide 250. And I'm going to the hospital to try and put this thing in a boat with no net. Anyway, so that was a big punch fish. And yeah, so I got rid of I culled a couple of 3 1/4s yesterday. It was like, wow. The first day I culled a couple of 4s. It was like, man, this is cool. And then today happened, and it's like, then I started thinking about this guy, fishing chicken, you know, go ahead, hang it out there, go for the gold, you know, all that kind of crap. And I started that way. Oh yeah, let's do it, yeah. And then, you know, after a little bit, you start going, I better start catching some fish. Yeah, it's all good, you know, trying to be big shot, trying to throw all reaction baits, and let's fish like a big boy and all that kind of stuff. And then reality kind of sets in about 9 o'clock when you look in the live well and you go, man, there's a lot of water in there and not a lot of green fish. So I picked the punch rod up again, talked to these guys for a minute, and I told Gary, because he was here with his posse, and I said, you guys tootle along so I can go fish my spot now. He goes, dude, I got a GPS in your boat. I know exactly where you is. So anyway, yeah, so I got these little bitty fish, and I wanted to ask you, but the camera was there, and I didn't want to embarrass myself, but I was going to ask you at that time, do you guys swish the tail? I was going to ask you, because I had 2 of them in the box that, I mean, I told my guy, come here, look at this, man. Is that good? He goes, yeah, all right. So anyway, so then, you know, at about 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you know, you start thinking, man, clock's ticking here. And I don't want to, I cannot lose this thing by 2 pounds. I can't. I will never be able to live with myself. With what I got in the live well right now, I'm going to lose this thing by 2 pounds. You better pick up the flipping stick, put the other big boy stuff down, and start going to try and upgrade and get rid of some of those peanuts in there. And so I did. And I got rid of 3 of them, and they were small upgrades. They were, but I mean, I had like a 109, a 121, a 1.17. You know, not good. So anyway, so we did. Am I going on too long? I'll stop. But yeah, it was awesome, and thank you so much, Gary. You're doing great with your whole thing, man. This is awesome. You guys sitting on the couch, getting this damn tournament.
Yeah, you don't get to run off because right now Gary gets to talk to you. You got to tell a story on Gary. Gary gets to talk to you a little bit. I'll wrap up when you're done, buddy.
Oh boy. I've got 100. Okay, I've got 100. I will say that in our live today, I did say Bobby's a smart fisherman. He's gonna know that don't fish fish chicken when you need to. He's got a 10-pound lead, and he's gonna go catch himself 10 pounds and protect it. He is not a dumb fisherman. He's gonna cover his butt. I'm just happy that that's exactly what he did. I got a lot of stories when we fish together, but I've got it narrowed down to one that's a little funnier. I will say, you remember the day you jumped in Big Break?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You remember the day you was in the back of my boat and then you had to wipe your shoes off?
Easy.
Okay. That's 2, just for Bobby.
This is a family.
And probably my best deer is D. Thomas and Craig Miller. They fished together team tournaments, and me and Bobby fished, and it was a rivalry from like no other. And I mean, D would come over and try to spin Bobby out every morning, and I mean, this went on for years and years. And so we rolled up one day, and we were not catching them. It's at all. Okay, we got one fish in a live well that if he went 1.25 pounds, I'm probably about like one of his little peanuts he had in there today. It was bad. And we roll up, and Thomas bounces one about 4 or 5 pounds in the boat. Boy, you guys better be on your game today. We got 26 pounds. I'm like, Thomas, 26 pounds? That's all you got, really? I mean, the bite is wide open. How 26 pounds? I mean, hell, we had 28 2 hours ago. I mean, you're bragging about 26, buddy. You are in trouble and don't even know it. And we fired up and go down the bank a little bit, and Bobby goes, "My God, dude, we got 1.25 pound fish in there. What are we gonna do? We go to the scales with 1.25 pound fish. We're gonna look stupid." And I'm like, "Hey, dude, we just got in his head, man. We just got it. Now we just got to go catch 28 pounds. No big deal. I don't know where we're going to do it, but hey, I got a spot all the way at the other side of the delta."
We fished for about 2.5, 3 hours. We're way down south. Now it was 11 o'clock because the tide swang at about 11:45. It was 11 o'clock, and you said, "Hey, dude, I got an idea. I got some fish down in Stockton. We better run right now." And that's when I knew Gary's like. That's when I knew you were really starting to put the tide thing and all that stuff together. And we ran all the way to the sailboat harbor. And that's when you showed. I got my butt kicked so bad. Bah, 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 bah. Don't throw it so far. Don't slow roll it. You always see your blades. You better slow it down. All that. Yeah, all right. But, man, and I lost that good one.
And he lost a good one. I mean, I was catching really good. He goes, "Get out of the way. I'm going to catch the next one." He fires along. I said, "God dang, don't throw so far. You'll lose him." And he did. Oh, boy, we had a friggin' student-teacher conference there for a few minutes. And you know what? We come in with like 28 or 29 pounds. Kicked their butts big time. They never knew that we lied to them till this day today. And we lied to them big time.
Hey, and then Craig Miller came up to me afterwards, and he said, "You know what? You guys spun that old man out so bad. We never got a bite the rest of the day after you guys left. That's no crap."
First liar doesn't have a chance in fishing. Congratulations, Bobby.
Sure. Okay. Guys, hey, we got a really, really great thing going with Ken Ma and Philip Dutra, and they're starting the UFC. It's the United Fishermen Coalition, I believe. We have no NRA. We have the gun lobbyists and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they got some juice in Sacramento. Okay, us fishermen, we're way bigger than them, numbers-wise, but we have zero voice. So hopefully, that's fixing to change. You know, I was really bummed out the other night at the pre-tournament meeting when they got up there in front of the fishermen and they said, "Hey, I just need 30 seconds. Hey," like begging for everybody's time, okay? The begging for everybody's time and everybody going, "I don't want to talk politics." You better start talking politics because they're kicking our ass in Sacramento. This has got to stop. This is going to be done in 5 years if everybody doesn't get on board with these guys. Okay, I'm fixing to jam. I'm going to Texas, all right? But these guys, I'm going to Texas because I thought what's going on right now with this fishery was going to happen 2-3 years ago. They got their science right. Anything that has to do with water in this state calls the shots politically, period. That's how it is. We as fishermen have got to change that. Philip Dutra and Ken Ma have got a plan. When you get notifications from them, do not delete it. Read it. Send it to friends. Anybody and everybody that fishes, club fishermen, youngsters, all the kids from East County fishing clubs, you guys, when they get this, they're going to go get Clear Lake. They're going to take Berryessa out over the weekend. They're going to go get Orville. They're going to go get Shad. They're going to shut this down if we don't start making a difference right now. Listen to what the messages that these guys are fixing. It's the UFC, Ken Ma, and Philip Dutra. Go to restorethedelta.org or allied fishing groups and read up on what's going on to our fisheries. I'm optimistic, man. We can make a difference here in our favor. All right? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. We appreciate you fishing with us, buddy. Thank you much. There is your champion. There's your champion. The Duel on the Delta General Tire champion, Bobby Barrick. Thank you, folks, so much. Thank you, Big Break. Thank you, Oakley. Thank you, Delta. For the Commissioner, James Bryant, and Mr. Gary Dobyns, I'm Craig Gottwals. We're the Wild West Bass Trail, and we will see you next time at Lake Mead in September for our championship. Catch you then.